welcome to this first Q&A official video that I'm doing exclusively for YouTube, which I don't normally do. I don't know how to do this. But really though, I didn't think that I would hit 50k subscribers so fast. It's only been a year since I've been making content, and it's been an absolutely crazy year, to say the least. And you guys had honestly a lot of really good questions, so I'm actually really excited to answer some of these for you. So we're gonna start off with the dancing category. First question is, how long have you been a dancer? I have been dancing since I was 3 years old. This is what I looked like whenever I was 3 years old and dancing. I don't even know if you can call this dancing, but my mom made me do it whenever I was 3. From Tree Dude, hey, congrats on the 50, you honestly deserve more. Thank you, it's pretty too sweet. Would you think of doing more dance deconstruction videos? I really would love to see you go over dances from games or something else and explain why they are so impressive. Also, are there any games that that you tried to make content from, but it just wasn't interesting enough? It's actually a really good question. As far as the dance deconstruction videos go, I might do something like that in the future. I have thought of doing content like that. I don't know if I would do dance deconstruction videos per se, but I really want to do one that helps people to learn better. And then your second part of your question, are there any games that you tried to make content from but it wasn't interesting enough? I guess yes. So whenever I started streaming, I was a variety streamer for I think about a year. And then I figured out that to grow on Twitch, most of the time it's better to stick to one game and be known for that one game and grow an audience. So for me, that was Final Fantasy XIV. Whenever Fire Emblem Three Houses came out, I wanted to play that game on stream so bad because I am such a Fire Emblem fan. And I couldn't play it on stream because it wasn't my content. And now I definitely won't do that ever again. Oh god, I have so many questions. I need to answer these a lot faster. Congrats on 50k, I'm so happy for you. As for my question, how did you become a professional dancer? What was the process? Honestly, the way to become a professional in pretty much any field is years and years of practice and studies. It depends based on what line of dance you want to go into. But I would say in general, if you want to be a well-rounded dancer, I hate to say it, but the groundwork of all dance is ballet. If you can do ballet dance, it is a lot easier to do every other style of dance because you have the basics. Now if you started street dancing, it is a lot harder to do ballet. And now if you're a ballet dancer, it's a lot easier to do street dancing. So I would say if you really want to be professional, you have to start with ballet classes. Most people don't want to learn ballet, and I don't blame you. It's very strict. If you have been granted the opportunity to dance with Akechi Analysis or other characters, what song will it be and what type of dance? I would actually love to dance with Yusuke. I know you mentioned Akechi or Naoto. Naoto's dancing style is definitely one of my favorites, but Yusuke's is actually the kind of dance that I like to do the most, which is very modern. So I would love to dance with Yusuke. He's a vibe, man, I love it. I would have the best improv session if I would dance with Yusuke. I would love it. What was your favorite dance to perform and which is the one you're looking forward to the most? My favorite to perform was by far Joker's. I love his style so much and it felt so good. Easily my favorite. What one am I looking forward to the most? Sho Minazuki. Oh my god. If you really look at Sho's dance, he has his sheaths in his outfit and he dances with them on all the time, even with the swords out. I have to figure out how to make that actually happen in real life. There's not really a specific dance that I'm looking forward to besides Joker's, but more so than anything, I'm really looking forward to tackling the challenge of the sheaths, the swords, figuring out how to dance with the sheaths and keep them in the cross formation without it moving. There's so many problems to figure out that have nothing to do with the actual dance. The dance will take me about probably 3 hours to learn, but the costume and figuring out all that nonsense on how to make it work without falling apart in your movement, that'll take me months. I'm looking forward to that actually a lot. My question would be, how long do you think it would take to complete all the dances in the Persona dancing series? Years. I literally made a folder, I think a week ago, of all of the dances that are there. Then all of the additional dances that I'll be doing. I'll show you here how many there are and how many I've done. And if I'm only doing one per month, 5 years, right now financially, I cannot do more than one a month. Hopefully my content grows enough to where I can afford to do more. Very, very pricey to do these videos and I really can't afford to do more than one a month. Can you tell us how you plan out your dances? Just curious. The number one thing that makes me plan out what dances I'm going to do is entirely related to weather and locations. As I continue to do more and more dances, I'm really trying to find locations that fit the actual location as much as possible. COVID has made that really, really difficult, and the fact that I live in Canada and our winters are pretty long. I can do all of the dances, I'm capable of doing all of them, so that's really not the issue. The issue is, am I able to access this location that I want to do this dance in now, or do I have to wait a year to dance there? Have you ever considered having other cosplayers, dancers join you in your persona dancing videos, especially in a post-pandemic world? Yes! I want more than anything to have fellow dancers partner with me for fever time. The problem is I am very, very, very picky. I do not have anyone even remotely in my close vicinity that could dance with me. That's my issue. I have friends that can dance, but not at a professional levels. If I'm ever traveling and I have the capability to dance with one of my old friends and make them cosplay and make it like an actual full production with them, then yes, I absolutely intend on taking up the opportunity, but the problem is I'm very picky and I would want a professional dancer, so not just anyone. Really hoping I can in the future, but I got no friends near me. Would you consider trying to do the disco dances in Yakuza 0? What is your favorite dance style and do you sing by chance? My favorite dance style is modern dance, by far. That's what I graduated college with specifically. My concentration was in modern dance, even though I technically can do every style of dance. And do I sing by chance? No one's ever really told me I can or can't sing, but I've never really tried. Yeah. What are your top 10 animes? Woo. Oh my god. I just realized I didn't put on my necklace this morning. I think I'm gonna die. But my number one anime is Fullmetal Alchemist. I wear this necklace literally every day of my life for the past 7 years. But I'll give you like my top picks, I guess? Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, Gurren Lagann, Code Geass, Fruits Basket. Oh my god, Steins Gate. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna give you top 5 because I don't think I have a top 10. Are you a fan of Gundam, model building, anime, video games? I have always wanted to build a Gundam so bad. I'm not like the biggest Gundam fan, but I've always admired Gundam for the art form that it is. What do you think about the Kirby games? Will you play them? Which game in the series would you consider starting at? I myself have actually never played a Kirby game, but my boyfriend Dom is like the biggest Kirby fan. He loves Kirby so much. So I live vicariously through him. Will I ever play a Kirby game? Maybe, but probably not. Not that I don't want to, it's more like I don't have the time. What's a game series you've always loved the most out of all the JRPGs that you have played before, even if it wasn't on stream? Also, congrats on 50K. Thank you! Fire Emblem, Fire Emblem, Fire Emblem. I love Fire Emblem. It is my favorite JRPG series. It's still a JRPG, right? It's a tactical JRPG? Yeah, sure. Do you have a fave of the original 151 Pokemon? Does Mew count? I'm a basic bitch. Like, have you not heard Mew in the Pokemon movie? That is so cute. What was the first gaming series that you ever played? I have 2 of the same memory. I don't know what actually came first. Whenever I was growing up, I think I was like 10 years old, or maybe earlier, I don't know. I used to go over to a friend's house just to play Legend of Zelda, like the OG. Like, you go up to the cave and the old man's like, hey, take this, it'll help you on your quest. Yeah, that. I used to go over to my friend's house just to play that game. It's one of my favorite gaming memories that I ever had because I literally would only go over my friend's house just to play that game. Not hang out with them, but you know, hang out with them, but game. It took me a very long time, like at least a year, because I didn't use a walkthrough, and at the time we didn't really have walkthroughs on the internet. So I remember putting boulders on every rock wall and burning every bush just to find secret hidden passageways. I destroyed this game to figure out where to go. It took me a very long time. Would not recommend, but I felt like a very accomplished gamer at a very young age. The other gaming series that I was also playing whenever I wasn't at my friend's house was Pokemon. I'm pretty sure that the first game I ever played was specifically Pokemon Blue. My mom got me and my sister Pokemon Red and Blue, but I think Blue was technically my first one. I have a lot of memories growing up of being on my little like Game Boy Color, sneaking in my Game Boy like in the car, underneath my covers, but then back then Game Boys didn't have brightness features, so you had to get like a book light so that you could see your screen. I have a lot of good memories like that. All I've seen so far are Persona questions, yeah. Which I can't blame, but what's your favorite thing about the Yakuza series? I have never seen a game able to pull off 2 extreme dualities of like actual serious crime drama with serious repercussions, combined with comedy gold. I don't know how Yakuza does it so well, and I don't think any other series could pull those two extremes off so well in a blend. It's so good. What's your favorite, most memorable early gaming memory? No, my favorite gaming memory is actually whenever I played Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn. What I like to do with Fire Emblem games is I play through them once through and then I play them again on the hardest difficulty because I really like challenge runs. The roster is ginormous. It's gotta be like 60 plus characters. I went into the final map with 16 characters left. Like, I actually killed everybody in my run. I remember going into the final fight with 8 characters left. I somehow beat the game, killing every character, and I remember my brother and his friend watching my playthrough at the time, completely flabbergasted at all the people that I managed to kill just to beat the game. And I will never forget that. It was so funny. I don't know how I did it. Ike is strong, carries everything. I see you have a lot of games you want to play and stream. How do you choose which one you'll play next? How I choose what I'm playing next is based on relevancy, because I am a content creator at the end of the day. I'm in a position that all of the games that I want to play will eventually become relevant in one way, shape, or form in the future. Like, for example, I really have been wanting to play more Nier games, and I have been waiting since Nier Automata to play other Nier games. And just so happens that Nier Replicant was getting a remake for April 25th, and I fully plan on playing that on release date because I want to, and it was perfect timing. As a content creator, playing relevant games is really important, but at the same time, I want to play games that I genuinely do want to play. So it helps that I have a huge game library, and I just wait, and I'm like, oh look, I've been wanting to play SMT and get into that franchise, and look, Nocturne is coming out May 25th, so I'm playing that on May 25th. I look at my games list, look at relevancy, and choose from there, so that nothing feels forced, but at the same time, my content will still be relevant to new eyes. Who is your favorite character to cosplay? 2 favorites. Erza Scarlet from Fairy Tail and Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. Big, strong women that have really awesome outfits. I love them, and Erza specifically I love because she has so many outfits that I've been wanting to make for so long, and I've made 3 so far. How do you get into cosplay, and what was the first character that you cosplayed? You get into cosplay just kind of by doing it. I don't know how to answer that. You either buy a cosplay online that's pre-made, or you can choose to make one. Just choose a character that you really like, buy it or make it, whatever you want. And what was the first character that I ever cosplayed? Technically, the first character I ever cosplayed was Lena Lee from D. Greyman, and this is one of the only pictures that I have. I remember being so amazed because whenever I had worn this cosplay and bought it for my first convention, I had no idea that people make their own cosplays. And whenever I saw people making their own cosplays and walking around, I was like, I want that. I want to make that. I didn't know that you could make cosplays. I thought that people only bought them and wore to conventions. It was such a culture shock for me to go to my first convention and be like, oh my god, somebody made that? You can do that? So this was the first cosplay that I ever made myself. It's really bad. I made this my junior year of high school. It was actually for a senior project, an art class that I made it for. And my art teacher counted making a cosplay as an assignment, so it was freaking amazing. Get into cosplay, and are there any tips you want to give to people who want to try it? In the words of my man Shia LaBeouf, just do it! I know a lot of people tend to get self-conscious about, you know, I'm too heavy for this character, I'm too short to cosplay this character. Who cares? Cosplay whoever you want to cosplay because you like that character. And if someone does care, fuck them. You don't need that negativity in your life, I'll be real. Congrats on 50K, Crystal. Thank you. My question is, what motivated you to begin streaming, and what keeps you going through it all? If that's too personal, my backup question is, what is your biggest regret to streaming in your YouTube career? I wish I would have taken some leaps earlier, because you do need to take risks whenever you're making content. You can't just ever be too complacent. Otherwise, you're gonna become irrelevant over time pretty fast if you just keep doing the same old thing. Like, you always need to keep evolving. But what motivated me to begin streaming were my friends at the time. I actually had a group of friends that were like, Crystal, you should really stream. They said I had like the personality for it, and I was like, oh, okay. I actually started off streaming as a cosplay streamer. I didn't have a gaming PC whenever I started streaming. I just kept doing it, and I don't know why. I just had a lot of fun, and I still do. What is your favorite part about Twitch streaming? Hanging out with chat. Yeah, streaming isn't really anything special, but what makes it special is Twitch chat. What setup and software do you use when you are editing your videos and streaming? Currently for editing, I'm using Adobe Premiere Pro. I'm pretty satisfied with it. I don't see a reason to switch off. And for streaming, I use Streamlabs OBS. However, I will be switching to regular OBS Studio because Streamlabs OBS is kind of poop. Actually, it's really poop. Don't use it. OBS Studio has a lot of features that are good for the future of streaming and like third-party modifications that you can input into Studio, whereas Streamlabs you can't do any of that stuff. So you're very restricted on Streamlabs OBS as far as your streaming goes. And besides that, it also uses more of your CPU. Yeah, OBS Studio, don't be me. Learn from my mistakes. I just want to say congrats on 50 subs on here. I'm a new reviewer and your videos humor really helped me get through a really rough time in my life, so I appreciate it very much. Dude, you guys are like low-key really kind with these messages and I really appreciate it and I feel so undeserving, so thank you. How do you get through YouTube burnout or burnout with games? Played PFR, Yakuza, but you still play one lengthy JRPG after another. On top of that, you make cosplay, dance, etc. How do you avoid the feeling of tiredness? I wish I knew. Everything that I do is full of passion and things that I love doing genuinely. I've never had like a proper YouTube burnout per se because I think I'm just like too young. I haven't been creating specifically YouTube content for a long time. But when it comes to gaming, I don't experience burnout from games because I don't force myself to play something that I wouldn't play normally, or I stop playing things that I'm disinterested in, and I don't force anything I do for content. Now, you mentioned that I do a lot of things, and yeah, I do. Whenever I'm not streaming, I'm either editing, making cosplays, practicing dance, training, among other things that I can't say. One thing that most people don't know is I actually also run an entire online store on the side of everything to help pay for my student loans that I'm burdened with from the States. Yay! To hopefully answer your question, what I do is whenever I get tired of something, I move on to another thing. Everything is related to work in what I do in a day, but whenever I get tired of something, I just move on to something else. If I'm tired of editing, I'll move on to dancing, and then if I don't want to go back to editing, maybe I will just sit and make a cosplay or something. So I'm always doing some aspect of my work, but I switch gears a lot. Hopefully that answered your question. I don't know how I keep going. What has led you to become a streamer? Was it always one of your goals to become one, or was it just a fortunate turn of events? It was a fortunate turn of events. This is not a job that I aspired to have. I just started streaming because I really enjoyed it, and my friends told me that it would be awesome if I did it. They thought that I would be good at it, and they encouraged me. So I just started streaming. I didn't really intend to get anything out of it. Until I was actually working for a video game company while I was trying to grow my stream, and by the time the video game company was letting out like half of the employees, and I was one of the employees getting booted, at that point I was like, oh crap, I don't have anything else to turn to, so I just started streaming, and I got really lucky that it ended up working out for me. A lot of streamers say that they act or feel like a different person while streaming. Is that true for you? Pretty much what you see is what you get. All of my friends can attest for that. The only difference that I will say is that I know how to allocate where my energy goes on a day-to-day basis. I don't know if you know the mental analogy of spoons. If you don't know the analogy, it's like you start off with 5 spoons and they are a metaphor for like your mental brain power, let's say. Streaming takes the most of my mental brain power in a day. So if I start off the day with 5 spoons, and I know I'm going to be streaming and doing nothing else that day, I'll put all 5 of my spoons into streaming. If I'm hanging out with a friend and I know I'm streaming, then I'll just put in 3 or 4 spoons into my stream that day, and I'll save some spoons to hang out with my friend later that day so that I'm not like too dead. Hi, I just stumbled across your channel and I'm glad I did. You have an amazing personality and top tier content. I have 2 questions for you. How do you manage stress and what makes you feel the most alive? I don't. I have a lot of problems with anxiety, actually. The only way I feel solace from my daily anxiety is by working. Working is my distraction. Working actually is the manager of my stress. And what makes me feel the most alive, dancing has always been that one outlet that I have. One of my favorite things to do is to spend an hour in a dance studio and to just turn on music and improv for a full hour. I am able to get out all of my feelings, all of my stress, everything, and just put it into dance and put it into movement. It also makes me feel the most alive. Out of P5, P4, and P3, which did you enjoy the most? P5 for the story, P4 for the characters, and P3 for the theme of the game. So 5, because I enjoy story the most out of anything, and the characters are still fucking baller, and I had music for every mood possible. Would you ever consider doing an Akechi Analysis video on YouTube? I have thought about it, and I still am thinking about it, but I am terrible at scripted videos, mainly because I'm terrible at reading and writing, and speaking. Not my thing. As you can clearly tell by how edited these videos are. I trip up on my words a lot. I'm really not good at speaking. I don't think I could do a scripted analysis video and do it proper and do it a proper justice without completely making myself look like a blubbering buffoon. You get my point. Congrats. My question would be, who has been your favorite Persona female character? I won't ask male characters because I think everyone knows who that is. Yeah, female character, Ann. I love her so much. Ann is so precious and has so many personality traits that I only wish I could be anything like. She's incredible and I admire her a lot. What is your favorite Persona? Not the games, but the Personas themselves. Who is your favorite? Metatron. Not biased at all. How did you find out about Persona? My brother is actually the person that got me into Persona. I actually think it was because he sent me Last Surprise, like he sent me that song, and I was like, yo, what? This is baller. I've been wanting to play Persona 5 since Vanilla, but the reason why I didn't play it was because Nier Automata, I think, had come out like the same week or even the same day as Persona 5 Vanilla came out. And so I chose to play Nier Automata at the time. I was like, oh, I'll get to Persona 5 later. And then I never went back to Persona 5. And then whenever they announced the Royal version, I was so excited because I was like, I am playing that game and no other game is gonna get in my way. To go back, since I went on another tangent, man, I suck at this. I don't think my brother has ever recommended me a game to play that I did not end up loving. So you guys can thank my brother for that recommendation. I'm so happy for you. You've been my favorite streamer for a while now, and I think you totally deserve the support you're getting and more. Now, here's my question. What's a catchphrase or way of thinking that you live by? Easy one. This is the reason why I wear this necklace on a daily basis, because it is what I live by. Every time I hold it, I think of Edward's words, where he talks to Rose and he tells her, get up and move. You have two perfectly good legs. Get up and use them. If I'm ever having a panic attack, if I'm ever feeling really, really stressed or even really down, it keeps me going a lot. Hey Crystal, congrats for hitting 50K. My question is, what was your decision to move to Canada? I was wanting to visit Montreal for a very long time. I ended up hanging out with my group of friends for 10 days in Montreal, and it was the best experience of my life. And after that trip, my heart was left in Montreal. My friends sold me on this city so bad, and I was wanting to move to Canada ever since. I know a lot of people were warning me at the time, like, oh, the grass is always greener on the other side. And I'm like, yep, it's hella greener over here, that's for sure. I actually ended up meeting Dom, my boyfriend. I had met him, and it was like the happiest coincidence in the world that he was Canadian. It was a very easy decision to go from long distance for a year and a half, and then being like, okay, well, we're gonna set up me moving to Canada because I've been wanting to regardless, so that doesn't make this relationship very difficult considering I was already willing to move. Now I got 2 reasons to move to Canada, and I got the best of both worlds. Congrats on 50K, it's party time! Do you have any tattoos? You said something about getting one in one of the Yakuza 3 videos. Yes, this. I have been wanting this as a tattoo. I've been wanting it on my wrist for like 5 years. I have other necklaces I would love to wear. It's the only tattoo I have literally ever wanted in my life, and I could never afford it. Maybe I will get it soon, but I still am more dedicated to spending money on my content than things that are extra that I don't necessarily need. I have a hard time spending money on myself whenever it's not like a work necessity. Eventually, I hope I'll feel good about getting it. It'll probably still be a while. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? No, because I don't like pineapple, so I'm not gonna like it on pizza. Yeah, bit of a simple question, but favorite color? Purple, specifically lilac. What are things that you really like about yourself? Habits, personality, physical attributes? What are things that you don't like? You don't have to answer this, by the way. What do you think about the moon call? Oh my god. Okay, so what do I like about myself? If you would have asked me this question like 2 years ago, I would say nothing. Right now, I would say one trait that I particularly am really thankful that I have is my work ethic. Like, I have a very, very strong work ethic, and if I didn't have that personality trait, I would absolutely not succeed in YouTube videos or content creation in general, because you have to be a really, really hard worker to make this kind of a job work. And then what are things that you don't like? My anxiety, I stress out over literally everything. I'm a big what if person. Like, what if this happens? What if that happened? It's so hard to get my brain to stop. What do I think about the moon call? For those of you that don't know, there's apparently a moon call in my Discord. Even I don't really know what it is, but hey, if you guys are having fun and not causing harm to other people, then who am I to stop you from having fun? I've got a question, but before that, I just wanted to congratulate you. Your streams make me laugh and cry and got me through some hard times. So I'm grateful that I found your channel. If y'all could stop being so sweet. I appreciate it, thank you. Which voice actors would you like to meet IRL? I would love to meet as many as I can. Like, I really admire the talent of voice actors. I actually did meet my favorite voice actor, J. Michael Tatum. I fucking love this guy. He's amazing and super, super kind. He attended a convention with me looking like an actual alien. This was part of my Twilight Midna cosplay. And then I took it off for the day and didn't feel like taking off the makeup, so this is how I met J. Michael Tatum. Oh god, I still hate it. I would like to redo this picture. I have a lot of admiration for him and Brandon. More power to the two of them. I would love a picture with the both of them. Hooray for 50k! Do you have a Persona video game shrine? And if so, what figures or other merch do you display in it? Sure, let's go on a journey. So this is the only like shrine that we have. That's our Nintendo shelf, and then this is like my main shelf. Everything here was gifted to me by fans. You guys sent this to me in my P.O. box. I actually didn't buy any of this. Even the amiibos, they were gifted to me by friends. I've literally not bought anything on this shelf. It's just everybody else being so kind and sending me stuff. This is probably the only shrine I will ever have, just this one little shelf. And that's enough for me. I kind of don't want more than what's here. And then when we go lower, we have the PlayStation section with the Sega old console and some Final Fantasy XIV cards that Square sent me, and then movies, and then more games at the bottom. This is my my bookshelf. A Draw My Lifestyle video. I can't draw. Maybe I'll ask my boyfriend to do a Draw My Life video for me. Could do that. He is an artist. If conventions open this year, would you go to one? And if you were to cosplay someone, then who? I would love to go to all the conventions. I miss them so much. I used to go to so many. I used to go to at least like 5 or 6 conventions a year for like 5 years in a row. I don't know what I would cosplay. I think I would actually leave it up to you guys and do a poll, because at this point I have so many cosplays that I could just whip out for conventions. I would just probably do a Twitter or YouTube poll and be like, what do you guys want to see at this convention? Because I don't really care. But I will say one thing I really would love to do is actually do dance performances at conventions. So hey conventions, if you ever want a performance, I got you. Where did the name CrystAAHHL come from? Ha! I love this one! The university that I went to, whenever you join the theater program, the technical director gave nicknames or theater stage names for everybody that came into the department. So the technical director came up to me and he was like, CrystAAHHL! And I was like, whoa, okay, I can vibe with this. And I actually have this picture here. So the day after that he gave me that name, I came to my theater desk. Someone had put this on my desk and I still don't know to this day who did it. For branding purposes, I didn't want to do 3 A's and 3 H's. Basically, my name is a lie. This is what it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm a lie, sorry. Do you truly love pancakes, or do you love them because Akechi does as well? I do like pancakes, however, if I actually had a preference, I would choose crepes any day. Sometimes pancakes just make me feel heavy and fat because they're so fluffy. I'm with on this one. Biggest and most important question of all, do you have an Akechi body pillow? No, I'm not a person that actually likes to have stuff that I don't need. I like to live a minimalist lifestyle. Having like merch or like shrines or a lot of figurines is not something that I actually want. Because to me it just is like something that collects dust. So Akechi body pillow? No, I don't actually really want one. Damn, 50k already, time really flies, huh? Question, other than cats, what animal would you have as a pet? For some reason I've always thought chameleons were cool. So that? Tell us something you don't even think your friends or family know. I literally have no idea. Oh, okay, so technically my friends and family know that ever since we got a bidet in our apartment, I can't imagine living without one now. But what they don't know is that I won't come home to my family's house if they don't have bidets installed in their toilets. I'm a pretty open person. Most people know everything about me, or my close family and friends. I don't really have anything else in particular that they don't know. But bidets, if you don't have one, I'm not coming over. You'll never see me. They don't know that. Congrats on the first milestone. A thank to you for the most hilarious and entertaining Persona game highlights, which prompted me to play for P4 and P5. Oh, that's super sweet. I'm glad you played the games because of me. That's awesome. Question, do you speak any other languages, or have you started to learn one? If you haven't, would you like to learn a foreign language? Yes, I actually am intending to learn French as soon as possible because my boyfriend is French. It's his first language and his whole family is French as well. Now they're all bilingual. I don't necessarily need to learn French, but because my intention with my life is to buy a house in Montreal and to live there permanently, I would like to learn the language. I feel like it's just respectful and I don't mind learning another language. So yeah, I'll be learning French very soon. Congrats on the 50k subs. I'm glad to see how far your channel has become. I have a few questions for you. Hopefully you'll like them. What's your favorite ship from any game or anime you've experienced? I love them. If you had to cosplay any Fire Emblem character, regardless of money or how complicated the cosplay would be to make, who would it be? I have 3 cosplays that I have particularly been wanting to do for about 4 years. The first one is Effie. She is freaking badass, and I just love this pink armor. It just speaks volumes to me, and I just want to be that. The next one is Erica, specifically this form in Fire Emblem Heroes. It's a beautiful cosplay that I've been wanting to do for such a long time. Number 1 cosplay though, Neffany. I love Neffany so much. She is always my best girl for Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn. I just want to make this version, just her regular soldier outfit, not the halberdier version, not her upgraded version, no, just the soldier outfit. Favorite chain restaurant? Eaton Park. It's only a Western Pennsylvanian thing, and they're my favorite chain diner restaurant. I love it so much. Go-to coffee or tea? I don't drink coffee or tea. I just drink water. How busy is your average week? Do you have people who help you out, or is it work mostly independent? I am very much an independent person. I don't like the feeling of depending on other people, so even just me hiring an editor was a hard time for me. I feel like I have to do everything. Needless to say, I do everything in my own content except for 30% of my gaming highlight videos are now done by Dina, who is an amazing editor, also an amazing person. I still do about like 70% of my own videos, but she handles at least like 30% as of right now. Bless Dina, taking some work off of me, but I do everything else. This is probably a way longer video than it was supposed to be. I wanted to answer as many questions as I possibly could. Thank you, I really appreciate all the questions. They were really, really good and hopefully more insightful to me. Hi. Thank you guys so much again for all the kind words. I will forever really appreciate it, and I hope you have a really great evening. Bye!